Good day and welcome to the broadcast. I'm Todd and this is DigginLife 21. So I want you guys to know that I had the best time doing the live streams over my Thanksgiving vacation. It was awesome. I got several firsts, man. We had 50 people in a stream all at one time, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for my little channel, I was stoked. I also got my first super chat thanks to Frank S. You are awesome, man. I really appreciate it, and it really does help the channel. And really, any income we make on the channel, we are putting back into the channel to make it the #1 place on the internet for those of you who are looking to start in light excavation and grading and demolition. So I'm working really hard to make this a resource and the best channel that it can be for you guys. Just to give you guys a couple of minutes of what is going on today, we are cleaning up roadsides. You can see we're in a subdivision. We're turning, let me jump over here. You can see I came through here with the Bushmaster the other day and I was only able to cut these saplings down, and I just wasn't happy with it. So I switched out for the Fecon FMX 36 mulching head, and you can see once I get this head spooled up, it'll typically just grab this stuff, and once I get it grabbed just right, it'll suck it in and spit out the chips. Also, I can cut these tops out and we can just mulch them where they're standing. That's the best way to do it, and we are going from this mess to a nice clean roadside shoulder. We also on this project have a bunch of garbage. This is just, it's ridiculous, but every subdivision seems to have that one lot that as soon as one person throws some junk out, everybody throws their junk out there. So we got the work to do the mowing, and we picked up doing this garbage cleanup. So what I'll be doing is throwing the bucket back on the excavator, and we're just gonna load that stuff in the dump truck and probably make an extra like 300 bucks. I like grabbing these things one at a time. Let's see if we can get a hold of this. I didn't have that head speed up high enough. These honey locusts can be a real pain if you don't have a lot of momentum through that head, and go ahead and have a lot of kinetic energy. By having that head spooled up, you're not going to get through it with these smaller machines anyway. Alright guys, so also I want to give a big congratulations to each and every one of you who have messaged me and told me that you have struck off on your own, you've left your full-time jobs, and you are now self-employed. A lot of which have told me, and it's humbling that they say that my channel has given them the confidence to do so, to go out on their own, to step out of that comfort zone. And I'm going to try to work as I talk today. And let me just say there's a few things that I also want to emphasize. Go back, watch previous videos, and learn from those. But moving forward, I feel like my delivery is getting a lot better for you guys, and that I'm able to express in words what I'm trying to get across. And one thing that's huge, absolutely huge for you guys, and let me just, this is extremely important. Before you start a business, or before even starting a side hustle or side business, be ready to take 100% responsibility for everything that goes on from that moment forward. You've got to be prepared to take that responsibility, be proud of that responsibility, whether it's the successes or the failures. Every time somebody points the finger and says it's their fault, it's something they did, there's 3 fingers that are pointing back at yourself. That's all there is to it. So you might as well take that one finger, point it at yourself, and take control of your life and your situation. It don't matter, even if you're working for somebody else, you shouldn't blame somebody else. Take responsibility for your life, because anytime you blame somebody else, you're admitting that you gave them control of your life and your destiny. That's the main main thing I want to drive home today is taking responsibility. I didn't set out when I decided I wanted to start a business. My goal was not to go out and do the best I could and let others control it. You can't do the best you can unless you take on everything. That you take on every bit of that responsibility. I concentrate around these utility posts. But I see so much potential in you guys. Like just the things people say in their comments, you can tell that they've got the right mindset. But then it's a matter of putting it into doing it. It's courage, you know. It's easy to be scared. It's easy to hold back. But you don't want to come down to the end of your life and have a whole lot of regrets. And I wish I had. I wish I'd had the courage to try this. Can everybody be a business owner? No, they cannot. Not everybody can run a business. Anybody out there who's preaching that is more than likely just trying to get views, or they're trying to get an audience. They're motivational speakers. Not everybody can do anything they want to do. I'm 5'9". Okay? I can't change that. There are certain factors in your life you can't change, so that's going to limit you in certain things. You can't do anything you want to do. One more thing I want to push home with you guys is something I talked about in the live stream the other day. Anywhere from even Halloween on is the holiday season, and you can expect a little bit of a slowdown in your business. It doesn't really matter what business it is unless you're in retail and you're selling toys, gifting type stuff. But if you're providing a service like light excavation, grading, demolition, forestry mulching, that all kind of slows down a little bit for the most part with all of us. Some of you will be fortunate and you'll just stay wide open. I know we are booked until about the middle of January, and calls are still flooding in pretty good, and we are staying busy. So that's encouraging. The person that the slowdown will affect the most is anybody who is just starting, or it's their first couple of years in business, because it almost is something that it's hard for you to prepare for, because you may not have a lot of savings, and you've got to have a little bit of a nest egg that goes through. And for us, in the summertime, you know, the bank accounts usually go uphill. It's climbing. You know, you'll see the little drops when you have big payments or insurance payments, stuff like that. But it trends in an upward way. And in the wintertime, a lot of the time, you'll see your bank account start dwindling. Don't let that panic you. Don't let that make you feel like you're failing. All that is it's the trends. It's a sine wave. Business is always a sine wave. And it gets fun when you can look back not over just months, but years, and you can see if you're trending on a more uphill trend or if you're trending downhill. And really it's your decision. How far, if you go into a recession or business just isn't good, you're experimenting with new things, you're spending money on advertising that's not working, that's going to drain your account, and you've got to decide, at what point do I abandon ship? At what point is it too late to make drastic changes and decisions? And that's one reason that when it comes to advertising, I would go into it, if you don't have a whole lot of capital, to just go ahead and plan as if you were going to be able to buy that advertising. If it's a year subscription or whatever, if you don't have the money set aside to be able to pay that all at one time, then it may not be something you want to do, because it'll be the same thing that if you buy into it. And Yellow Pages, YP.com, for me was a horrible failure. Absolute horrible failure. I didn't get anything out of them. I bought, and this was back when Yellow Book, the book was actually a thing. I bought Yellow Book, Yellow Pages, YP.com, YellowBook.com, and it was a disaster for excavation, grading, stuff like that. for me. Now in your area it might have worked. If you're a viewer, drop it in the comments if it did work for you. And that way we can kind of have a vote of whether Yellow Book, Yellow Pages worked for anybody. But for me, it was a disaster. And I paid a huge amount of money. I don't remember exactly how much, but I think it was to the tune of like $20,000 for the year. And I didn't get anything out of it. And they messed themselves up because on the ads, they give you a phone number that is forwarded to your actual phone number. And that way you can track if you're getting something out of it. Well, if the ads were working, that would work for them. But in my case, it showed me that I didn't get nothing out of it, and it was a glorious waste of money. And it was in my first year, and I was working to make the payments on that advertising. The word of mouth work I was getting and all that, you know, what I was getting sucked into those bad advertisements and canceling each other out. I was working almost, it felt like, for nothing. If you're new to the channel, be sure to click the subscribe button because every video is a little bit different, but you will get something out of every single video. I will make sure that there is some specific something in every video that's informative and what I feel like would have been helpful to me. When I started my excavation and grading, demolition, bush hogging business, I had nobody to help me. There wasn't a channel on YouTube that helped me at all. They helped me learn how to do things, but they didn't tell me the business aspect. And if you don't know the business aspect and how to run a business, all that knowledge of knowing how to do the work is almost good for nothing. So on this channel, what we are going to do is take you from one job to the next with us, and in most cases I will tell you how I charged for the job and what the job paid. It doesn't do you a bit of good for somebody to go through and say, this is how you measure it off, this is how you figure acreage, if they just leave you hanging. And so many YouTubers do that. They think, you know, they're wanting views. All of us do. All YouTubers need views. Otherwise, they don't generate enough income to justify taking the time away from their work to put it out there into the world. For example, this job we're on today, this is just a basic roadside mowing job, and the way this benefits my viewers is that they can see, let this fan by, it'll let people see the production speed of this particular machine. And I'm talking louder than normal because I have not yet gotten a external microphone, and I've had a lot of viewers saying that they have trouble hearing me. So I am going to be talking louder, and I'm going to try to make my hillbilly accent disappear. So this is on my Yanmar Bio 80 mini excavator. It's more of a mid-size excavator. It weighs about 20,000 pounds. We're pushing about 32 gallons of auxiliary flow to this Pecan FMX 36 forestry mulching attachment or head. And we are charging for this road, for every foot that we travel along the road and going in, it looks like anywhere from 12 to 15 feet, we are charging them 60 cents. So that does not sound like a lot. It doesn't sound like it could be profitable. But at the rate that I'm traveling, we are making some pretty good money. I believe we're making close to $250 an hour, believe it or not. And it's not, you know, we're not making that every single hour. That's the average. So we may make closer to 300 one hour, and another hour we might be down around 200. So this is a good business to be in. We do all different kinds of work as far as land clearing, excavation, light grading, all the fun stuff. I like doing the fun stuff. I work by myself, and me and Kelly, my wife, do it. We work this job together. She's got a full-time job as well, but she does a lot with the company. I will probably start before very long talking about how I've been profitable with YouTube and how much it pays. I believe in being honest with my viewers, because without you guys, this channel just wouldn't exist. There would be no purpose. My purpose really and truly is to give a resource to people who were like me and didn't have a resource. They didn't have a mentor. There wasn't even anybody that owned a business doing forestry mulching in this area, so that works for me. I don't really have a whole lot of competition. There are other guys that do this some, but they don't do it regularly and they don't specialize in it. I like to think of myself as specializing in anything I do. This little stump's going to be a pain at me. Of course he is, but that's okay. We take our time. I also coach on how to deal with business anxiety. Business anxieties and your mental state can really affect your success. And one thing I'd encourage on this video, every morning be prepared to have a positive self-thought. A thought that you give yourself, something positive, something good that happened the day before or the week before. And if you haven't had something, think about something positive in your life, something that you're proud of. And you've got to think about something that you have because of either your job or your business, and that will help motivate you to get out of bed and go do that thing. I love my job. I had trouble getting out of bed this morning, but it was just because I was being lazy. And all I had to do was think about some goals that I have, and that motivated me to get up and get after it. We did, I think, 5 live streams over Thanksgiving. It was 4 or 5, and you guys came up with some amazing questions, and I actually decided to go ahead and make a plan to do a weekly live stream. And that way, you guys who subscribe, click below and ding the bell, can come in and have all your questions answered. I just got into self-fence. Lovely. Yeah! Got that dang pig wire out. Or self-fence. They're about the same. Here we'll just do a little bit of mulching footage because it's fun. What I could do with these little saplings is just cut them off and let them fall over, but it's just not as clean. I'll go back and mulch them on down. Forestry mulching is an excellent business, and it is expensive. It is expensive. This excavator was about $65,000 used at 15 hours, and the mulching head after hoses and everything on them was about $22,000. So, think about getting into mulching, it's great, but it is expensive to get started. You can finance these things. You can finance just like this head. I don't remember what the options were. I think we ended up just maybe we bought this head. I can't remember. That's part of Kelly's job. She handles all financing and equipment acquisitions and stuff like that. So I think she's going to be on one of the next live streams. So be ready if you have any financial, like technical questions, you know, stuff that you need help with in that department. Drop in the comments. You guys be sure to drop in the comments, you know, what kind of videos do you like, what don't you like. If you don't like these forestry mulching videos, let me know. Over at my other channel, DigginLife Deeper, I'm going to be uploading a lot of just raw footage. Stuff that's not edited, just fun types of videos. You can see they let these road signs go for a while. Saplings can be tough to get a hold of. When they're real springy, you gotta go through them pretty quickly, you know. Now these way far out, I don't worry about mulching the tops up as much. was same size, it would struggle with them. So white pine, it does a really good job. It'll power through it really easy. Now like jack pine or black pine, whatever you want to call it, it struggles a little bit more with it, but it still goes through it pretty good. I don't know what it is, but this excavator's super rocky today. I don't know if it's the way the pavement is or what, but I can't put my blade down really. This is just a very poorly balanced excavator as well. Oh, there comes DHL. We better move out his way. He'll be back through in a minute, I bet you. I don't know what the next excavator will be, but it'll probably be a conventional. It probably won't be a zero-tail swing. Let's see if we can get you guys focused down there a little bit. See, like down here off the edges, it's not as big of a deal. We can just mulch right on through them. I love this stuff. It can become monotonous, so if it does, I'll just put my headphones on and I'll listen to music, or I'll get you guys on here and I'll talk for a little bit. Hopefully provide some kind of knowledge. I don't believe it's a wealth of knowledge, but it's some kind of knowledge. So now the other way you can do these roadsides cheaper for people, you can just put the head down there like that. Just kind of let them tops drop. You can see how they kind of line up along the ground, and then you can just kind of work them down. That's a little quicker. It's not as effective as far as providing a good mulched up result, but the biggest thing they won't be able to see down into the wads as best they can. There is silk fence down there, so I'm going to get right against the ground. Forestry mulching is just a good business, and you can be in business doing this just about anywhere. I love this stuff. I've enjoyed it ever since. How I got into it was people were calling me to do bush hogging, and I would show up and they would have saplings like this, and I would bush hog them. I mean, my bush hog would eat them, but it was horrible for the bush hog. I was denting the deck and beating the hound out of it. I thought there's got to be something made for this. There's got to be something made that I don't have to cut the trees down and carry them to a wood chipper. And that's when I discovered one of these guys. And all it is, it's just like a wood chipper that you take to the tree instead of the tree to the wood chipper. I'm mostly talking for new viewers today. Anybody who's subscribed or been watching me for a while, they know what we do. They know how it works. But we've had a slew of new subscribers, so I want to make sure that I inform them on what I do and how I can benefit them, if at all. I may not be able to benefit somebody at all, but at least they'll know. Knock these little twigs down. The Yanmar is not a very well balanced machine. I do not recommend that. They're good starter machines, but I would not buy one. Now the 55, the Bio 55 Yanmars are okay, but the bigger ones are just not very impressive at all. Here comes the DHL man again. We'll see you there, Mr. DHL. Make sure he's out of the way. I don't want to be putting any windows out. Leave you guys up on the windscreen so you can see even when I get down here off the bank. You guys be sure to comment. Tell me which views you would prefer. It seems like everybody likes being up there where you're at right now because it's kind of first person. And you kind of almost feel like you're running a machine, which is cool. Thank you guys for watching today. Hopefully you got a little bit of something out of whatever I said, and I hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. Be sure, click the subscribe button, ding the bell, and we'll look forward to answering your questions on the next live stream. We love you guys.